Welcome to Nationalist Hub News Analysis. History, they say, repeats itself, first as a tragedy and second as a farce. So said the high priest of communism, Karl Marx. We Indians need to be reminded about what happened to our history and what is happening now as we try and correct it. Ours was a civilization that had few parallels. Then came the murders, from Genghis Khan to Alexander, from Muhammad of Ghazni to Timur, Babur to Aurangzeb. Their hate for Hinduism can be seen in the way they destroyed everything from our universities to our temples. They say to destroy a civilization, you need to destroy their cultural motives. That was a singular aim of the Islamic invaders, and they looted and destroyed not just temples, but also our universities and libraries. As a nation, our historical landmarks disappeared into the oblivion due to the plunder, loot, and deliberate act of erasing our history. From Nalanda to Takshashila, Somnath to Kashi Vishwanath Temple, there was a deliberate attempt to destroy our civilization. Not just to destroy, but replace it with Islamic symbols like a mosque. In many cases, the plunderers did not even bother to build the religious structures from the scratch. Instead, they took the bricks, religious motifs, and even walls to build the religious structures. Gyanvapee is one such example. You can realize this so-called mosque which stands next to the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir, that was once a temple. There was no doubt about it, and even a school child will tell you this. Today, most of the large and important historical Hindu temples are found in the southern India or in Odisha and eastwards. These areas remained outside of the Islamic rule for most of the history. The traditional heartland of Hinduism in today's Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, as well as in Punjab and Sindh, feature no major large Hindu temples, most of which were destroyed by Muslim aggression. The most wanton destruction occurred during the invasion of Muhammad of Ghazni from Afghanistan, who raided India numerous times from 1000 to 1030 CE, who historians say utterly ruined the propensity of Hinduism. Aurangzeb destroyed many temples, and probably the holiest of them was the Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi, which was demolished on his orders in 1669 and a mosque built on the spot. The temples destroyed range from in thousands, but I would like to talk about a few of them in this episode. Let's look at the Martan Sun Temple in Jammu and Kashmir. One of the oldest temple ruins, it's now called Shaitan Ki Gufa by the Kashmiri Muslims and was featured in the Bollywood movie Haidar. A scintillating piece of architecture, this temple could have awed everyone who saw it. It was built by King Lalitaditya around the 5th century AD and was destroyed by the Muslim ruler Sikandar Bushkiran. It is believed that it was so strongly built that it took many days to destroy, and what remains of the temple now lies in the ruins of the district of Anantnag. Next, let's look at the Mudherasan Temple, which was built around the 10th century under the Solankis. It was a majestic temple with perfect vastu, which had each pillar carrying itself a history and purpose of its own. The temple was plundered by Muhammad of Ghazni, who took the original idol that was carved in gold, which was housed in a deep pit covered with gold coins. The shrine was eventually destroyed by Alauddin Khilji before it was restored recently. The Ram Janmabhoomi Temple in Ayodhya, the most famous of it all, the land on which the Babri structure was built in 1528 is referred to as Ram Janmabhoomi now. Mir Baqi, one of the Mughal king Babur's generals, destroyed a pre-existing temple of Lord Rama and built a mosque called Babri Masjid at the site. The structure built on the temple was brought down by Karsevaks in 1991. Later, the case went all the way to the Supreme Court, and historians testified that there exists a Hindu temple below the Babri structure. Now, a new Ram temple is being built at the same spot. The Ram Janmabhoomi case brought about a cultural renaissance among the Hindus, who for the first time believed that it's time to regain our glorious history. The most famous of them all, the Kashi Vishwanath temples, one of the most famous Hindu temples dedicated to Lord Shiva and located in Varanasi, one of the holiest places for Hindus. A choice of target for Muslim invaders, This prominent edifice was destroyed in 1194 CE by and then built 20 years later, only to be demolished again in 15th century. It was rebuilt again, but Aurangzeb destroyed it yet again in 1669, building the Gyanvapee Mosque in its place. The present temple was erected a few feet from the mosque in 1780 by the Marathi queen Ahilyabai Holkar. The gold roof seen in the photo was donated by in 1839 by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the ruler of Punjab. The Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi temple, also simply called the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi, the Sri Krishna Janmasthan, or the Krishna Deva temple, or the Keshava Deva temple, for example, is located in the holy city of Mathura in Uttar Pradesh. Locals believe that the temple was made 5,000 years ago by the mythical Yadava king. The temple underwent significant upgrade during the reign of Chandragupta II around 400 AD. After it was demolished in 1017 AD, the temple was rebuilt by Bir Singh Bundela or Veer Singh Dev, an Okhra king. The Krishna Janmabhoomi temple was also destroyed by Aurangzeb and a dargah was built above the Keshava Deva temple. Another famous temple was the Somnath Jyotirlinga temple, located near Veraval on the western coast of Gujarat, considered among the 12 Jyotirlinga shrines of Lord Shiva. In AD 1026, Muhammad of Ghazni first looted the temple, and then came Afzal Khan, the commander of Alauddin Khilji, and later Aurangzeb. It is said that the Somnath temple was looted and destroyed as many as 17 times. It was ransacked again and again from Muhammad of Ghazni to the Muslim dynasties of Gujarat to the Portuguese up till Aurangzeb. A symbol of the great civilization laid in ruins till Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel decided to rebuild it along with K.M. Munshi. Let's come down to the south now. South was also not spared of it. Hampi, the seat of the famed Vijayanagara Samrajya, was the capital of the largest empire in the post-Mughal Bharat, and the empire reigned supreme under Sri Krishna Deva Raya. The destruction of Vijayanagar by the marauding Mughal invaders was sudden, shocking, and absolute. It reduced the magnificent city to ruins. The ruins of Hampi of the 14th century, amidst giant boulders and vegetation, is protected by river Tungabhadra in the north and the rocky granite ridges on three sides. The splendid remains of the palaces and the gateways of the broken city tell a tale of men of infinite talent and power of creativity, together with the capacity for senseless destruction. When the Vijayanagar Empire fell after the Battle of Talikota, havoc reigned in Hampi, the capital city of the great empire, for months. Major structures were set ablaze, pulled to the ground by Muslim armies. The entire population was massacred and no one was spared. Many temples at Hampi were destroyed, and only those which were large and strong were able to survive the Holocaust and the iconoclasm perpetuated by the Islamic armies. I can go on and on. The few temples I mentioned here is just to give you an idea how the barbarians who did not leave anything behind. They not only destroyed our temples, they also built mosques and other religious structures over it. Now, India is claiming what Bharat had lost in the past. The Gyanvapee legal challenge is a direct confrontation to the Places of Worship Special Provisions Act of 1991, an act that was illegally brought in to prevent Hindus from claiming what they had lost. History must be corrected, and there are no two ways about it. If some people get upset about it, so be it. Thank you for watching news analysis from Nationalist Hub. Jai Hind.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.